I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Fucking A.
In this town on Valentine's Day, everybody loses their heart.
It looks like Harry Warden's back in town.
In the town of Valentine Bluffs, there are many ways to die. Take your pick. My Bloody Valentine.
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review, and this time it is a re-review of My Bloody Valentine from 1981. This was a Patreon request for Planet Mars 2030, and like I said, if people want to send in requests for either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon, it could be a review, re-review, doesn't even have to be just a movie, it could be topics, reactions, whatever, so feel free. Again, both links are down below in the info box. But My Bloody Valentine, I love. I would easily say this is one of my favorite slasher films. And it's one of those films I don't really have a lot of problems with. Yes, I know at times the characters have a little bit of that Canadian accent slipping out. But I don't mind the characters. I don't mind the love story. The love triangle of Paul Kelman, Laurie Hallier, and Neil Affleck's characters. I haven't had a chance to watch the Blu-ray because I don't have a Blu-ray player here right now, and I'm going back in a few weeks, so maybe then I'll review the Blu-ray of it. But I did rewatch the film again with the uncut version because it was online to watch, and based on that, blending the uncut footage with the theatrical footage, almost seamless. So it's glad that finally we have an uncut version of My Bloody Valentine where it doesn't look so abrupt when it cuts to the extra gore scenes. So that alone, I give Scream Factory credit to that. I don't always love Scream Factory and what they do with their Blu-rays, but that's the example I can give props to. And maybe it's not Scream Factory, maybe it's someone else. It's like, okay, here you go, Scream Factory. So whoever did it, maybe it's not Scream Factory, whoever did it, and then gave the Scream Factory, good job. Now the film itself, directed by George Mihalka. I don't even remember what else the guy has done. The only time I think of him is this movie. And of course, the story of Harry Warden, how there was a mining accident, trapped under. He barely survived. The accident was caused by these assholes waiting to get to their Valentine's Day party. So when he gets out, puts on his shit, goes to town, kills some motherfuckers with a pickaxe, takes their fucking heart out. Y'all can kiss my ass. He gets arrested. Many years later, we're finally going to have another Valentine's Day party, but the cops get a little present, candy box with a heart in it. I like the little rhymes that's in with the cards. And I like a lot of the ideas. It really does utilize the Valentine's Day holiday. Because sometimes you get these horror films that use a holiday, but only use it because of the title. Or they just mention it and they do nothing with it. Home Sweet Home, for example. That horrible fucking movie with the guy from Body by Jake as the killer. That's a Thanksgiving movie, but the only reason you know that is because someone mentions Thanksgiving once or twice. It's like a lot more could have been done with the whole Thanksgiving angle. And there's other movies of that nature, which again, they do it because for promotion or whatever, but really never utilized. This does, with all the various decorations in this town of Valentine's. Again, the idea of putting the hearts in the candy boxes. It's a nice visual. And even the cover, which probably I won't put here, because I found another poster which looks really rather cool. But the original VHS cover, I remember it creeped me out when I was a kid. Because I would see, it wasn't even a video store. Back in the day, VHS was so big and hot that it was in just little grocery stores. I mean, they were everywhere. You could rent it at just a teeny gas station. It's like there's your food, there's your shitty hot dogs, and there's a VHS, wall. I would see that cover and I'd be creeped out because it's the miner looking at you. Which is funny because in the movie, the miner, you don't see his eyes, but in the cover you do. And he's staring at you and there's blood and dripping down. I mean, as a little kid. So I don't think I saw it as a little kid because of that. But I saw it years later when it came to DVD and such. I'm like, I enjoy it. But the one issue I had was, it's too bad the door was cut out. The fact the door's been put back in, easily one of the best slasher films ever made. Even before that, I thought this is one of the better slasher films. Now it's like finite. Concede the notion, guys. This is one of the best. Because I love the atmosphere of the small town. It gave it a bit different compared to just being in the woods or just what other slasher films were doing. So the whole setting seemed a bit more unique because it was a mining town. The fact a lot of it takes place in the mines was a great choice because the mines are such a wonderful setting for a horror film because it's dark, it's claustrophobic, and certain ideas they utilize that I appreciate. Like when the miner, the characters hear something, and it cuts to the miner just breaking light bulbs one by one. I don't know why, that's such a creepy notion. Like, he's got a light, but he wants to blind everyone else, and I don't know, just certain little things like that I appreciate. And the whole mining suit is a really creepy look for a killer. With the look of it, and the hard hat, and the thing for your breathing, and then the pickaxe, different kind of weapon. Not the same knife or machete. So a very unique look to the killer. And the gore scenes. I mean, just going through the gore scenes. Spoilers if you haven't seen the film. Definitely check it out. If you like slasher films. If you love slasher films. In particular, I don't know, I mean, I would say just blind buy the Blu-ray, but Street Fighter's Blu-rays are pretty expensive, so that'd be up to you. But like, spoiler, the death scenes, the beginning with the tintiness of the miner and the girl's playing with it like a dick. I get you, I get what you're doing. But then there's like a tattoo of a heart, and that freaks him out. I guess that's sort of the turning point of this, and stabs her. And with the extended door, you see it pierce right through her skin. I was like, oh shit. This poor lady I always felt sorry for that gets killed, and the sheriff finds her burned up, deep fried in a laundromat, rolling around like a rag doll. Just been like scalded and burned alive, just, or maybe killed, thrown in, maybe not burned alive, but maybe, I don't know. But you see a lot more of that, because I remember in the original the cut I grew up with, it'd be very truncated. But you see a lot more of it, full-on shots, rolling around, and good practical effects. The one guy is sort of the crazy Ralph of this movie, gets a pickaxe under, and I never realized this until I saw the uncut version. I thought, okay, it just went under his chin. No. When I saw the uncut version, the extra notice, oh shit, it actually went through his eye and it popped out his eyeball. Like the pointing out came out. And then the eyeball's hanging there. Never would have known that if I didn't see the uncut version. So that's the thing with the stuff that just cut out by the MPA for stupid reasons. I'm like, Friday the 13th, you'd get away with it, but not this movie. And then for the longest time, people thought, man, we'll never see a uncut version. And then when it first came to, not when it first came to DVD, but there was a Lions, when the remake was coming out, I believe Lionsgate had a DVD of it. And it was an uncut version, but again, you saw the footage was a little bit less finite compared to the rest of the movie. But the version I saw is from the Blu-ray is very much cleaned up. So, again, good job on that. But yeah, this poor girl gets impaled in a shower, which I always thought was the death scene. Because the fact that she just and you even see more of her just hanging there and the way her legs shake. And just the idea of being impaled in a shower head, so your mouth like sprinkling of water mixed in with blood. Definitely when you see it uncut, it's definitely an image that you don't forget too easily. One guy gets nails in the head, only in this you see more nails to the head from a nail gun. A woman gets a pickaxe into the stomach. You see much more of that. So I very rarely do you get a film of that nature, a full uncut version released. What I mean by that is you don't have a lot of that with Friday the 13th, except maybe the first one. See, even the dog's pissed off about that notion. My friend's dog is like, "This is fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Why don't they have more uncut versions?" Because they don't. A lot of studios don't save it. Why do you think you don't have Cobra Stallone's uncut version released out there, or a cleaned up Cliffhanger NC-17 version, or Predator 2, or various other films? Because many studios don't give a shit. In fact, one of the only reasons we got an uncut version is that, I forget if it's the director or the producer, one of them saved the footage. They had this idea, I don't know how they were going to do it, that they were going to put the footage into a sequel. I don't know how that would work. Like, how would that work? Would it be like one of those shitty sequels that just half the movie's a flashback to the first one? Well, I do like Saturday Night Deadly Night Part 2. It's bad, but it was fun. So I don't know, maybe they're going to do a My Bloody Valentine Part 2, but like Saturday Night Deadly Night Part 2, where it's a story, but half of it's a flashback to the first one, only this time you get to see the uncut versions of those death scenes. You know what? That actually probably would have sold if to be successful on a marketing ploy. Like if you had 80, let's say 84, and we don't care anymore, go do what you want. And then if you put in the marketing, if you want to see the death scenes, great, there'd be some people pissed off, what the fuck? But it's like, hey, if you want to see them, plus our new story, there'd be a lot of people that would have seen that in the theater. So it's not our fault. But yeah, I mean, the death scenes are well done. Each one fulfills your bloodthirst. But also, like, I don't mind the characters. I don't mind the acting by Paul Kelman and Neil Affleck. These guys who used to be buddies. Paul Kelman's character tried to go off to make something of his own. He failed. He comes back here. There's some friction between the two of them. Just one's with one, but in the past was with the other. I didn't mind it because I thought the actors did their jobs fine. Not great gravitas of their performance, but just they were fine. And they were likable, and the movie didn't, it wasn't like it wasted 30 minutes on bullshit and then nothing else happened. The movie kept at a good enough pace that, you know, I got a little bit more to the characters, a little bit more to their point of view, what they're going through. And yeah, I thought the actors, compared to other films I've seen, the acting was fine with me. Keith Knight, who I remember in Meatballs, he's the guy who Bill Murray's trying to get to win the hot dog eating contest. Come on, come on. He's in this, but only he's got a mustache, facial hair in this. He's the guy who gets killed with the nail gun. But yeah, I thought the actors did fine for what they had to do. Yes, I know, once in a while the Canadian accent came out, but I could forgive it for that. The music was fine. I especially liked the Ballad of Harry Warden at the end. I thought it was very catchy, memorable. And a legend, they say, on a Valentine's Day, there's a curse that will live on, and soon you will know, as the years come and go, of the horror of a long time ago. There's not a lot of horror films that do that kind of stuff. Madman does. Beware the Bad Bad Mars. But again, there's not a lot of slasher films that have their own ballads. I mean, their own type of songs of that nature. I mean, I guess technically you could say they're not ballads, but you know, Dream Warriors, Elm Street 3, Alice Cooper's for Friday 3 Part 6, The Man Behind the Mask. So there are some, but I just more think about there are songs that are technically linked to them, like even The Mutilator. Its original title was Fall Break, so you have a song, A Fall Break, which sounds like a 50s song that would be in Greece. So maybe it's not songs I'm talking about. I'm talking about like ballads, where the song tells about the whole legend. That was interesting. Not a lot of movies did that, but if they're well done, if they're catchy. Like Madman Mars, this one, I do think is a better movie than Madman. Like Madman, I don't mind; it's okay, but I have issues with this one. I think is much better with its characters, much more satisfying ending. And yeah, I love the claustrophobic setting, especially utilizing the second half of the film. I love that the hero gets to fight the villain, and there's times where they're on this mine carts, and they're fighting each other with pickaxes. No, it's not gonna be a fucking Jason Statham fight, okay? But you know, it's still nice to see for this kind of movie. And lo, the guy actually gets to do something in the slasher movie, because usually the guy just stands there with a thumb up his butt, getting killed, or with the boyfriend's like, "How's it going? Did Jason kill you yet?" Or, "Hey, Alice, did Freddy kill you yet?" But the guy actually gets to do something to fight the bad guy, and the two of them, the guy and the girl, work together to stop. Because he's on the run, the girl comes up and helps him, and so they're not both useless. Now, spoiler alert, I know people say it's set up for a sequel. I guess I never looked at it that way. But I mean, I can see what they mean. Because the spoiler. Just want to stress? Yeah, stress it out. Stretch out that point till it breaks. Neil Affleck, Axel, he's the killer. He gets out of it, but he's ripped his fucking arm off. I just assumed he died of blood loss. I mean, I know he says, "I'm coming back to kill this fucking town," but then he says, "I'm coming to meet you, Harry." So for some reason, I just assumed he died, because you would think, oh, number one, you know where he's going. It's not like the mine over there probably has 18 fucking twists and turns. You tell cops, go over there, pick his ass up. No, they're just staring at him. I'm like, cops, do your job. Why the fuck are you just staring at him? Hey, go and find him. He's got to come out somewhere. But I figure, you know, he just got his fucking entire arm ripped off. That's going to be fucking bleeding a lot. It's not like he's fucking Rambo. Even Rambo, if he got his arm ripped off, I mean, like, well, it's Rambo. so he could probably, do the thing in Rambo 3. But, I mean, this guy, he doesn't have any shit to do that with. It's a long walk. Again, his arm's just been ripped off. I would think he'd die of blood loss, but... So, to me, I just thought the guy was dead, and the fact there's no more sequels, I'm actually fine with. So I just assume he went off and died. Again, that's the way I look at the ending. Other people don't, that's cool. Different perspectives. But it is a nice way to end it because he walks off into the distance or disappears into the darkness. And there's always that question mark, is he out there? But you can also assume he died because of the whole thing where he got his fucking arm ripped off. Unless he's one of those weird people that arm ripped off and instantly sealed up, no blood. No blood's coming out of this shit. I don't know any people like that, but I don't know. Maybe there's some weird alternate universe that happens. But with that said, this is a great slasher film. I mean, what do you want out of a slasher film? I got characters I don't mind. Actors I didn't mind. A legend that's interesting enough legend. The backstory, what happened to the original Harry Warden. A great look of the killer. A great weapon of the killer that's unique to its own. It's not 50 other slasher films that use pickaxes. Great kills. Short enough so it doesn't feel slow or plotting. Fast pace. Good song at the end to sum up the movie. Good look of the film. Like I said, the claustrophobic settings of the mines. Again, it utilizes the Valentine's holiday fairly well with all the decorations, and from the very beginning, the heart on the girl's the tattoo she has. It wasn't just something they threw on there because it's the title, and we need a holiday because Halloween was successful. So if you don't use Valentine's, this handled it very well, utilizing the holiday. And just a fun slasher movie. Fun, bloody, good time of a slasher movie. If you're a slasher fan, I don't see why you would hate it, but to each their own. To me, it's easily one of the best. Sometimes I wonder if it's my favorite or not. It's up there. It's pretty fucking good. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. And we will see you guys later. Bye-bye.